So then you have to think why we are not talking about happiness. There are two happiness. One is absolute, other is relative. If your happiness is relative to someone, something, then what's the problem? If it is not there, the happiness is turning to either it may be hurt or suffering or something. Suppose that when your mom is close to you, if you are happy, when the mom went for the work, then whatever, you are crying. Then your happiness is relative to mom. Suppose if you are attached to your boyfriend, girlfriend, then when he or she is with you, then you are happy. Then if she or she not there, then you are, I my goodness, I miss you, miss you, miss you, miss you. It's a too painful. Why is that? You are you have happy, but the problem, what's problem? Is depend on something. Uh, I'm very sorry, my English is not good. If you can't understand, you ask again and again because I born in Sri Lanka. Uh, until my grade 12, I don't know any English word even not the letters. This is my real story. After grade 10, 12 only, I start studying English because for the university degree, it's a compulsory. Unless I don't know any word up to now. So very recently I started to uh, learning English. So if there's any problem in my language, please ask again and again and try to get what I mean. Okay, there are happiness on depend on something. If we are happy on depend on something, if that is not there, what happen? Yeah, less. I my darling, I miss you, and like that, you are burning, something going wrong. Is that when you're going wrong? That means you are suffering. It's a suffering. It's a burning. Is that good? Hmm? It's a peaceful, very happy. It's a very heavy. Suppose at the event of suppose that you are very loud one is passed away, more suffering, more suffering. You have very good car. With the car, you are happy. But if something happened to the car, then you are suffering. Then always if you are depend on something, whatever the things, you can take blah blah, what other anything you can, you are like go, you are attached. So if that is not there, you are unhappy. So your happiness is when that object or man or guy or whatever things is there with a good situation, it's there. But if it's not there, then the problems come. It is happening all over the world. But very recently, Sri Lanka, that collapsed, bankrupt. Then lot of problems come up. But even though it stopped some at some state, but here also now, Australia also, your inflation rate is going up. There are some issues are coming day by day. Why is that? Why is that? What's the problem? Our happiness is depend on either money or job, whatever the things. If your absolute happiness is there, you are not dependent on anything. But my way, really not my way, Lord Buddha's way. That's what I am explaining. To try to understand if you are happy with this my way, it is absolute, not depend on anything. From these two, what should prefer? Absolute one or relative one? Okay, your hands up. Okay, I like to absolute one. Hands up. Okay. No. I like to relative one. Then all know that absolute happiness is very nice. Why? There are no suffering, but happy is there. Can you understand? Right. Then what you have to do? You have to analyze what is the relative happiness. Either happiness depend on something. You have to analyze that one. To analyze that one, what you have to do? You want to know how this happiness comes to us. How this happiness created by you. How do you get the happiness from your life? What is the main aim of our life? Our main aim. What's the main aim of our life? What do you hope from this life? Like currently. Yeah. Ultimate hope, ultimate desire. At the end of the day, what do you want from this life? Are you saying like just to be happy? Happy. Yeah. Mm. Can you raise your hand? Accept some happiness or pleasure? Do you hope any other things? Anyone? What? I guess to give back to this world. You are trying to give back to world. Then, if you give back to world, are you happy or not? Then ultimately, what's your aim? If you are trying to give into something, but ultimately you are happy. If you can't give, you are unhappy. Then that was a relative. That was a relative. If you can't give to the world what you hope, what you wish, then what happen? You are suffering. Oh my goodness, I have to do this and that, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't do that one. You are crying. You couldn't do that one. Then ultimately, what's your aim? You are giving something to the world and happy, not us. Happy by you or yourself. Are you okay? Whatever the things we are doing, ultimately, why we are doing that? Whatever things? To our happiness. That's the way. Ola agree or? All agree? Yeah, Ola seeking happiness from this world. You're always trying to take happiness. Okay, for to take this happiness, what you are doing in the world? There is something to do. Unless if you are in just wait, you don't have any happiness. You have to do something. What you are doing? You are watching something. You are listening something. You are smelling something, tasting something, touching something, thinking something. Out of these six activity, do you have any other thing? Are there any seventh item? Can you explain someone? No, I am not doing. I have another one. Out of the six, watching, listening, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking. Do anyone have more than that one? No, I am doing something else. Can you hands up and explain? Okay, then what have to do? We have to analyze these six only. That's all what we are doing. The discussion is very simple. Not a very huge discussion like a rocket science. There are not rocket science. Every day, each and every day, from morning to night, 306 days, we are doing that one. Out of these six, nothing is there. If you can analyze these six, then we can get the conclusion. We can get a good conclusion. All agree? Okay. From now onward, what we have to discuss, these six process, what we are doing. We have to analyze this one. How this happiness comes to you. What's the purpose of happiness? How it is happening? What is the mechanism or the science behind that? I all agree. Agree. If you have any question, don't don't be silent. Please ask. Without understand, you don't try to move to forward. Can you explain?
I'll briefly explain. I'll briefly explain what Thero explained just now. Now, if you think about the purpose of your living, the purpose of your living is basically to seek happiness. There are two components of happiness. One happiness is relative happiness, relative to other things. And you try to gain this happiness from looking at other things or achieving other things. The second thing is absolute happiness. So in Buddhism, we mainly focus on absolute happiness. Absolute happiness is the happiness that you try to obtain, not from the external world, but from within you. Now, like Thero explained, we have 6 faculties, 6 ways of getting this happiness from the external world, because we think that we can get this happiness from the external world. The 6 senses are: the eye, you see something; the nose, you sense something, smell something; and then from your mouth, you taste something; from your body, you feel sensations, that's the touch; and then from your mind, you think about something, and you think you can get happiness by thinking or contemplating about something. Does that make sense? Right. Now, what Buddhism teaches is, because we try to obtain these things by attaching to or looking at external things, that happiness is always a relative happiness. Relative means that's related to or in comparison to what you can gain or what you can achieve from the rest of the world. Because the happiness is relative, what happens is whenever you can't achieve things, or whenever you don't, whenever that doesn't meet your expectation, then you become frustrated, or you get the sadness or the anger inside you, because that's relative happiness. But for absolute happiness, what you need to understand is you need to focus on the happiness not being something that's relative, but something that you can find from within you. So, therefore, first of all, we need to look at the world. How are we trying to get the happiness from the world? By using these 6 faculties. Can anyone think of any other sense or faculty other than the 6 faculties that we spoke about, which is the eye, the nose, the mouth, the ear, the touch, and the mind? So they're the main 6 faculties. Other than that, there's nothing else. We use these 6 faculties. We do things with the external world. We attach to things, or let's say we enjoy things using the 6 faculties, thinking that that combination will give us the happiness. So there's the external things, and there's the 6 faculties with us. We look at or reach out to the external world with the 6 senses or the 6 faculties, expecting that we can get this happiness, which we think is absolute happiness, but that's not. We think that we can get the happiness that way.
Now we have to think of uh, how these 6 faculties are working and how this happiness create. What is the science behind that? I am getting one example. I and some object, visual form, to see something. That means when you go to watch a movie or some very beautiful place or somewhere, and when you are go to meet your girlfriend, boyfriend, and when you can look, so you have eye. Then there are some visual forms, eye and visual form. Then other thing is eye, visual form, and look at that. Looking, that called eye consciousness. What do you know? Eye consciousness. Eye is there, object is there, visual form is there. From eye, you can identify what it is. The identification is called, from eye you can identify. Eye, object, and eye consciousness. The word consciousness mean identify. From ear, sound is there. From sound can be identified by ear, then called ear consciousness. there are 3 components. Likewise, for the 6, 18 components. I'll take one example from where this happiness comes and where this happiness comes. So, to get the happiness, what we are doing? You have eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body and mind. By eye, ear, nose, and these 6 faculties, if you can take without this external object, if you can get the happiness from these 6 faculties, internal 6 faculties, you no need any external things. Can you take that one without external thing? Okay, so there's a very nice movie. Without movie, you have eye, and without going to cinema and without seeing that one, can you get the happiness from this film? Well, then happiness is in the visual form, that means film or in your eye, from which that happiness comes. The happiness is within the visual form called film or in your eye. From which one that happiness comes? Did you got my question? So you have eye, there are some film, movie or something. If we can get the happiness without this movie, there are no such a way. So you have to go to cinema and see that movie. Why is that? Happiness is in the, yeah, film. And that's why we are going to there. You are spending money and time and everything and go there and see. So there's some musical show, ear and sound. You have to go there and listen to that one and dancing. Then only your happiness comes. Okay, that's very nice perfume. You have to go to the shop and take that perfume and then only you can get the happiness. Okay, there are very nice shops. That means cafe. You have to go and eat. Then why you are go and eat? In this case, we are concerned not about the feeling of stomach for the hunger. Hunger is feeling for each and everyone. We are talking about the happiness. This is something else. Happiness is something else. Stomach feeling is something else. So if you want to go to the massage clinic and get a very nice massage, then to go there and take that. Then why is that? These external things have the happiness. Do you all agree? That's why we are going there. Unless you don't need to go there. If you can take this all the happiness without this external thing from only internal things, you are very lucky. Why is that? You don't need to any external thing. So that is why we are going to for a work and earning lot of money and lot of blah blah, lot of stuffs you own. Why? If you look at this whole around, what this all around, you have a lot of stuffs. Why we have collecting these all the stuffs? Maybe house, car, that way, blah blah. Why is that? They are giving us the happiness. Then the happiness is with that object. If this in the world, if there's some fight, the fight is there. Why is that? To collect these things. There are war, there are big wars are in the world. Why is that? They are collecting the land, then property, money, and lot of things. That's why this all this uh, corruption, everything become to collect these things with happiness. Suppose that someone is come and ask, okay, there are some very good land, some very few land, but if you go there, only suffering, no any happiness. Are you fighting and go and catching up some area? There's some land area. But if you go there, you have only suffering, no any happiness. Are you fighting to go there and have some portion of that one? No one is going there. No one is there. Is the second land is there. If you go there, or everything is with you. Suppose that from Sri Lanka, lot of people are trying to come to Australia. Any of Australian try to go to Sri Lanka and waiting in the our airport to go into the Sri Lanka? No such. Why is there? All the Sri Lanka come to here. No any British go and waiting in the coastal area to run to the Sri Lanka. Why is that? But all the Sri Lankans are going all over the world. Why is that? What's the problem? They are thinking here there are some old happy, nice things are here. In Sri Lanka, there nothing is there. That's why all are coming. Migration. Okay. Now you know that all the external objects have all these happiness and pleasures and everything. Now that's a next conclusion. All agree with me? All agree? Okay. Now I will give you some example. Now what's our conclusion? We have eye and visual form, but this happiness is come from the visual form. That means external object. That's why we are collecting all these external stuffs to get the happiness. But out of this happiness, there are something just want for life. That's not what I mean. Suppose that food we want, either we want happy or unhappy. Anyway, we want that one. That's not a happiness component. Suppose that if you have some illness, we want some medicine. That's not regarding the happiness. Suppose that if you are in the world, you want to be somewhere to protect from weather. If you are a human, you want some cloth. Even become arahant, they need. That's not what I mean. We are finding some extra happiness. That's what we are concerned in this discussion. So up to now, what we discussed from internal organs, six faculties, they don't have happiness. Then all the external things have the happiness. Okay, can you explain?
Just to summarize what Thera was just saying. Now, when we talk about happiness, what we're mainly focusing on is, or reaching out to the world, what we're focusing is not the things that we do for the human survival. Human survival is completely different from this. We're talking about the extent that we go to in relation to obtain happiness apart from human survival, because you'll need foods, like something, a shelter or a roof over your head. Those are for the purpose of survival, but the focus here is the happiness, the other extent to which that we go to get happiness in our life. For the purpose of getting happiness, we have six faculties. That's like we discussed before. It's the eye, the nose, the ear, the mouth, the body, and the mind. So we look at things using our eyes. We smell things using our nose. We hear things using our ears. We feel touches, or we contemplate or think about things using our mind and our thinking power. Now, what we do is, with the six faculties, we attach to the external world. So there are two things here, the six faculties and the external world. For the purpose of getting happiness, what we do is we use the six faculties, attach or look at the external world. The reason for that is, like we discussed now, the six faculties don't have or can't provide happiness on their own to ourselves. Because if the six faculties could provide happiness on their own, we don't need the external world. We don't need to attach to external things. We don't need to go beyond or after external things. So the first conclusion we reached was the six faculties can't give the happiness on their own because they're just faculties or senses. And we use the six faculties attached to the external world in different ways for the purpose of getting happiness. That happiness, like I said, is not the purpose of survival. It's the happiness which is beyond that. So we attach this way. So that's a bit of a, I would say it's a bit of a formula that works between your senses and the external world. Because of this reason, I think we do all these things. We study, we earn money, We do social things or we help others, but the ultimate goal is the happiness. Use the six senses, do things with the external world. There's nothing beyond that. And that's the combination that we think will bring the happiness to our lives. So, because of this explanation, now we know, or now we think, that the external world has happiness, because we know the six faculties don't have happiness on their own. That's why they can't please us on their own. So we reach out to the external world thinking that the external world has this happiness, so that we can use or extract the happiness from the external world using the six faculties. The conclusion that we reached is that because of this reason, the external things, the outer world, or the things that are outside you,
Boy and girl, very lovely. From morning to up to 12, 12 of noon, around in the morning time, they are very happy and they are very loving. Then at that time, the guys look at girl, his face and everything very nice, beautiful. Oh, she's singing, was that songs also very nice. Okay, his smell also very nice, good. Then she prepared some foods and ate those also very nice. Then she come and touch and giving kiss. That's all very nice and very lovely. For 5 hours they spend. After 12 o'clock, they angry with them. Both are for some discussion. They angry. This is a common example for each and everyone. So for some reason they are angry now. From 12 to 9, even 6. 6 hours. At that time, for a guy, that lady's figure is a beautiful one. Hmm? Very interesting one. No. The same songs what he sing in the morning, sing in the evening also. It's not a good one. It's a very ugly one. The same smell in the morning. After 12, the same with the same smell. If you come closer, she's not happy. Then same food what they prepared in the morning, gave it after angry. Then is that taste or good there? What's the thing? Nothing. Okay. Morning also they give kiss. Afternoon, if they give a kiss, the anger may be double. After after angry, then same visual form, sound, smell, taste, body touch. And when you keep on thinking about it, that also angry. So why is that? Then earlier what we decided, all the external things are giving you happiness. But with this example, that conclusion is correct or wrong? But earlier, what's our conclusion? All the external stuffs are giving us the happiness. But if you get this example, then you can understand from the morning time, give the same thing gives you the happiness, but same thing gives you the unhappiness in the evening. Then you have to keep on thinking, oh my goodness, is what earlier decision is right or wrong? Yeah, earlier conclusion is right or wrong. What do you feel? You have to keep on, you have to think, not a brand new brain. You have to think. It's just how you thought about it. Is then from where that happiness and comes from the external things, it's correct or wrong? The external thing is it's just a thing. Just a thing. Just a thing. That's all. Okay, good. What about that? The same thing, one time we will happiness, other time unhappiness, same thing. Then our first conclusion is wrong or good? Wrong. What do you feel? What do you feel? Well, you. No. Situational. Situation. That's good. Yeah. You.
Yeah, I do think that it's not the things, it's how.
It is not in things. That's what you have to understand. You.
It's how you perceive.
Fun?
How you perceive, like perception.
Perception. Do very good. You.
Yeah, but how do you see things?
Yeah. What do you?
Yeah, agree. It's like depending on the condition.
Depending on condition. Then, but our first conclusion is we concluded that external object have this happiness. That's why we are collecting everything. Then now you understood that. Oh my goodness, it is not there. About perception, how we are looking at that. In the morning time, we are looking, but with either lust, desire, like, love. What are there any other word? Very lovely, desire, like, lust. What are the other words? Good manner, or whatever things. But after 12 o'clock, angry, hate, or bad way, or whatever the minus. Then it's very easy, plus and minus. In the morning, plus, evening, minus. What are the plus? Plus mean the good way. Minus mean negative way. Then object have happiness in all these object in the world. Are there any amount of happiness? Small amount of happiness is there with that object? Have or not? No. All these external objects are neutral. Neutral. Nothing is there. I will agree. I will agree or not. Don't hesitate to tell the answer. All these external objects are neutral. According to the way we are thinking about that one, happiness and unhappiness create within where? That happiness and unhappiness within where? Where it is created? Huh? Huh? Within your mind. It is not given by object. It's created within your mind. It's a mind game. That all are mental fabrication. Mental fabrication. Mental fabrication only. It is not given by you are look at object and mentally fabricate that happiness and try to gain from where? From external object. But external object have any amount of happiness? Small amount, 0.00, small, no, nothing is there. Mentally fabricate your happiness and unhappiness, and you are fighting and attached with the external object. You take few minutes and you close your eye, and I will give you 2 minutes, 3 minutes to keep on thinking what I'm telling. And then I'm asking some question. Okay, close your eye and you get that idea. Sharply take. If you have any other things, you ask question. Okay. What do you feel? I agree with me. All these external stuffs are neutral according to the way we are thinking about this, and this all the creations are mental fabrication. Mental fabrication. I'll give you some example. Suppose after buying very new phone, after normally around 9 months, 6 months, half later, whatever, I still love. Why is that? You are buying a very new one with that 200 to $2,000, very nice iPhone, new one. But after 9 months, whatever, still love like when you buy the initial and after 6 months, whatever. Still there or no? Why is that? But object is there. You feel it's not nice. Then you don't have any happiness with that one. Gratification, that word as gratification. That happiness and pleasure is called gratification. Then now that gratification not with this phone, when you are using, it's not gratification. I'm happy and then you thought, oh my God, the happiness is fade out. Then what you are doing? You are giving it to some your either colleagues or some one friend. He has very good amount of happiness. Then how he create that? But you have used this happiness from the phone. You have eaten and finished all the happiness. But next guy, whatever, he has happiness. But he is, yeah. But he also using the 6 months, then whatever. Then give to another one, then he is happy. But two guys have been eat all the happiness from this phone. But still another one have happiness. They have a very nice car, brand new car. After using 1 year, 2 year, whatever. It's a headache. You look at that. In the first day, whatever. First few days, you're always washing and cleaning and blah blah, and putting some perfume and more than the wife, more than wife. Then after 5, 6 years, whatever, you are not concerned about. You are not worrying, even not washing even. Why is that? That all the gratifications are you have eaten. Have eaten, no? How this gratification, happiness and pleasure create? It's in your mind, not by vehicle. You bought a very nice house. Initially, you are very clean and keeping and shouting and lot of blah blah. After 2 years, even you are not clean in that car. Why is that? What's the problem? Is that the problem of the material? No. How that happiness create? Mental fabrication, not in. Some of that if you have some extra money, some of that when you are working in a place, you got some bonus. Are you happy or not? Happy. What to get? Money. But Bill Gates have lot of money, but he also still not happy. Why is that? Yes, if you're concerned about our property and Bill Gates property and Elon Musk property, we are like a peanut. But still they are not happy. Why is that? They have that much of money. Why is that? Huh? What's the problem? If you go to Google and search YouTube, world happiest person, can you check one? World happiest person. You go to Google and search. World happiest person. Yeah, search and tell.
On Google.
Oh, it should be either Elon Musk or someone should be, no? World happiest person.
Actually, a Buddhist monk comes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, only Atapidikara. It's written wrong. Google me wrong. You don't have anything. Buddhist monk, what they have? They have robes and bowls, and that's all. Very few things. But world happier person. The scientific research. You go through that one, scientific research. How it happened? The way we are thinking and reality is totally different. So no. The way you are thinking and reality is totally different. So no. Different. The your way or my way is correct. Huh? If this whole world is empty of happiness and pleasure, it's a mind game. Happiness and pleasure is mind game, mental fabrication. And you are mentally fabricate the happiness and you are trying to gain this happiness and pleasure from external world. Either from your boyfriend, either girlfriend, either car, money, building, whatever the blah blah, all these plastic and whatever things in the world, plastic, wooden, and lot of things are there. From there, you are trying to gain this happiness. Can you gain that one? The your aim, what's your aim? To gain the happiness and pleasure from external world. Is it can fulfill? Is that satiable or insatiable? What's the meaning of insatiable? What's the meaning of insatiable?
Like can't be fulfilled.
What's the meaning of insatiable? Insatiable.
You're not satisfied.
You
I don't know, like it's never enough.
never fulfill. Never enough. Never fulfill. Never fulfill. Insatiable. This all this our gratification, happiness and pleasure. Gratification called happiness and pleasure are never fulfilled. Why is that? Why is never fulfilled? We are mentally fabricate and try to gain from external world. Creating here, try to gain from external. You are going to see a movie. So movie don't have any happiness. Movie is a neutral. But you are going there and creating happiness within you. And look at this film and try to gain this happiness from there. Then can you gain the happiness from the film? It's not there. If you see million of film, never fulfill, never gain any happiness from the external things. If you listen thousand of music, very yarny and lot of guys are there, music guys. But if you ask that much of music, never fulfill. If you smelling, tasting, if you are tasting, you are eating more, never fulfill. Your stomach may big. Stomach may big, never fulfill your tongue. Never fulfill tongue, your stomach may be full, or maybe your size may be double. Never fulfill your tongue. If you touch, never fulfill. Why is that? The way we are thinking about the gratification and happiness and pleasure is wrong. Correct or wrong? Huh? Correct or wrong? We are trying to gain externally, but internally fabricate. Suppose that your key fall down in your room, but all the rooms are dark. You can't see. But in front of there is some light post. You go there and see the key. Can you get the key from there? Huh? Why that? He is something else, somewhere else. So these all the six faculties are like a bottomless bucket. There are six bucket with you hand. The hand you have six bucket. Eye, ear, nose. These six faculties are bottomless. You try to fill this six bucket. What's the end of a day? What do you feel? Can you feel something? No, tired. Only end up with the tired only. Why is that? Never fulfill it. At the end of the day, what we are doing? We are so tired. What are you doing? Go and sleep. Next day morning, again taking this 6 bucket tank, try to fill from morning to even night. Then at the end of the day, you are tired. Then again go to the sleep. Next day, I again likewise. You are spending maybe even million of years. Never fulfill. Did you understand what I mean?
To summarize what Thero was explaining now, first of all, we had the conclusion that the external world has the happiness, and then we understood from all the examples that Thero said that the happiness is not in the external things. Happiness is something that's mentally fabricated. The examples we looked at are a relationship, let's say a car that you buy, a house that you buy, or a place that you go to. You think these external things have happiness, and then you try to go after these things or collect these things, expecting the happiness from these objects. But the longer you use these things, or the longer you are in a relationship or use a phone or a car, that pleasure and the happiness that you got from that object decay. Which means that concludes, or that shows you that the happiness was never in the external object. Because if the happiness was ever or was always in the external object, there won't be any decay of the happiness by having ownership or by having that external object. So therefore, we had to think to ourselves as to where this happiness and the pleasure and the gratification. Gratification is the word that we use to classify the happiness and the pleasure, or identify the happiness and the pleasure. So we had to see where this gratification is coming from. We knew that it is not in the 6 faculties. We now know from the examples that it's not in the external objects or in the external world. So where does this gratification coming from? The gratification is coming from the way we attach to the external things, external objects, external stimuli, external factors, using our 6 faculties. And that's a mental fabrication. The gratification is created as a result of mental fabrication, using your 6 faculties by attaching mentally to the external things out there. So it's a perception. It's the way we create this happiness and the pleasure inside you. So therefore, the world out there is devoid or empty of any happiness or any feelings or pleasure or gratification. It's just all created in your mentality, or it's the way you perceive things. Because the gratification is created in your mentality, or it's a mental gratification, no matter how much you or how many times you go after the external things, you won't be satisfied fully. Because for you to be fully satisfied, you should have the happiness in the external things. So by going after the external things, you should be able to fulfill your happiness. But because the happiness is not in the external things, no matter how much you go after these things, no matter how much you buy new things or have ownership to new expensive things, it's not going to fulfill your happiness or fulfill your 6 faculties. Because if what you're trying to do is trying to create this fulfillment, or trying to satisfy your gratification by reaching out to something that doesn't have anything. Does that make sense? It's all within your mind, a mental fabrication. Because the pleasure and the happiness, and exactly the same way, the hatred, the anger, or the sadness, that's also created mentally inside you, using your 6 faculties by attaching to the external world in the way you perceive the world. Because you understand that, you now understand that the world is devoid of pleasure, devoid of anger, therefore the world is empty of anything. What that means is world is neutral. It's a neutral world. Faculties, 6 faculties you have, you mentally create this happiness, the pleasure, the anger, and it's an endless game at the end of the day. And you're never going to be fulfilled by being engaged in this cycle of things, or being engaged in this game, because at the end of the day, It doesn't satisfy or fulfill your six faculties or the happiness that you're going after. Therefore, the gratification is mentally fabricated. World is neutral. Because the world is neutral, a neutral thing can't satisfy your senses. World is insatiable. From an insatiable object, from something that's insatiable, that's external out there, you never can satisfy your six faculties fully. And that's the concept you need to understand. And once you understand that, things become easier because you understand that whatever the emotions you have, whatever the attachments you have, everything is because of a mental fabrication using two different components that have got nothing. So you got the six faculties attaching to the external world that has got nothing, that's neutral, that's insatiable. And then you create this mental fabrication inside you, whether it be pleasure, anger, or sadness, or lust, or desire, or whatever that may be. Does that make sense?
Some example, each of you can give me some example. Same thing, one time gives you happiness, one time you give you unhappiness. Example, your own example. You may have a lot of experience.
I lived in like a nice apartment, and when I went to move out, cost me so much trouble to get up all the stuff. I thought I really enjoyed. The same thing gave me lots of pain to get it off.
Yeah. Then that can you understand that apartment or that object, they don't have nothing, but all these pains and whatever things you are mentally fabricated. So that's what you have to understand. Then suppose that after few days or something, if you are happy, that also mental fabricated, not given by object. Yeah.
See, a holiday is like a perfect example. You go on a holiday, you might go to a nice beach somewhere, you might be happy, and then your time is finished on your holiday, and then you come back to normal.
Very good example. Well, you think what my opinion is okay or not?
Perception.
Yeah, perception. Yeah.
Like my car, like when I bought it, I was like really happy with it and everything. Then like after some time, someone hit the front of the car, and then that causes you like mental stress.
Yeah. Okay.
Monday.
But so same thing.
That Monday, my brother. Oh yeah, my brother sometimes causes me happy to. No.
That's a joke. Same thing.
But seriously,
Really, and your experiences. Oh, when now your mom and dad, then all are same.
Yeah.
Not this is one example. Okay, what do we do?
I would say the job, like
Yeah.
because it's
What example?
it sometimes makes you happy, then it sometimes makes you sad.
Yeah. Same job.
Same job.
Job is not the problem.
Yeah, losing any object when it loses its novelty, you don't enjoy it anymore.
Yeah, same as the other fellow said, the mobile, sometimes you just get, which is also get happy.
Yeah, same job. You the different feeling according to the way you are thinking. Not by due to the boss, not due to the colleagues. They are not the problem. They are same.
My dog, when he was young, he no problem. Happy old, so nice to him.
Yeah, same one you the happy earlier, but it's not given by there. The way you are thinking. Always you have to think in the way you are thinking. You have to change, not the object.
I was also going to say my job, like I studied so hard and worked so hard to get there. And then some days are really fulfilling and then other days are
Okay. Good.
I was seeing like the bouquet of flowers, like when you get them fresh, you're really happy. But after like a few days, when it gets old, you don't want it.
Don't want, yeah. The same thing given the two options. But that's not depend on the object. According to the way you are thinking. So some people are there, they are happy for the After what?
Right.
Wilted flowers.
For the new flower, they don't like. Why? They are using to earn money with the old flower, dried flower. Then they are happy. You are happy with the new flower. They are happy with the. If you give some new flower, they are unhappy. The flower, they don't have nothing according to the way they are thinking. Okay, good. Yeah.
I was more thinking when I'm sick, I like in pain. Happy.
Yeah.
And when I'm well rested, energized.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah. You have to understand another one thing. Some pains are come through. Suppose that someone is hit to you, then it is not mentally fabricated. It feel to mind. But when someone hit, all the people getting the pain. It's a normal natural phenomena. The physical phenomena. It's a body property. Suppose if someone is very lightly touched, then you are happy. When you go to the body massage, you are very happy. But if someone is hit, then it's painful for everyone. It is not a mentally artificial fabricated one. It is not connection with the lust or hate. Because what I earlier explained, everything is this happiness is depend on the lust, love, joy. Unhappiness is depend on the hate, unhappy, all the unhappy things. Can you understand? So there are some things that some of that thirst is a natural phenomena. If your body is less of water, it will for everyone. The sleeping, that's a natural phenomena. Everyone needs sleeping. Some people even 2-3 hours so. Foods we need. Since they all we agreed to have a dress, we need. All the people are dressing something, not for any other things, because all are dressing. Some have you seen the Niganta? Niganta, they don't have dress in India. Lot of Niganta, they don't have dress. They will not even dress. Suppose that if you are suffering from some illness, you want medicine. Your Lord Buddha want medicine. There are no any option. That's not due to lust or hate or delusion. We are talking about lust, hate, and delusion. Due to lust, that means lust, happy, hate, unhappy, delusion, neutral. That's what we are talking. Okay. You.
So manifestation is going backwards. I like to draw. After my drawing, I don't like it. Later, I will like it.
Right. That's
so it's backwards. Yeah.
Yes. Very good example. Yeah, new one. Yeah. Example.
Sometimes you go to work, you're happy. That day.
Yeah.
Then the next day you're unhappy.
And there are another two more. Do you have any example? Guy's daughter. Guy's two daughter. Okay, you tell me whatever thing.
Like it, but letting yourself with it. And then like it afterwards.
Okay, Akka. Amma. Okay. Right. Okay. Suppose that you all have got that. What's your answer? That's what I want. Unless you can't give me an example. If you didn't understand properly, you can't give an example. That's very difficult. Okay. From now for 1 year, I am giving you a card. With that card, you can consume any amount of anything from this world. free of charge. The ideal situation. You take ideal situation. Anything. You can go anywhere, you can enjoy anything for a 1 year. At the end of the 1 year, with this card, you can go anywhere. All the countries, and you can have a lot of foods and whatever you want, you can take and consume. At the end of the day, end of the 1 year, again there's a meeting. Again there's a meeting. Then I'm asking a one-to-one, okay, what about 6 faculties are fulfilled or no? What may be the answer? After 1 year, you can have any amount, no restriction, as you like. At the end of the year, what's the answer? Anyone can fulfill? Can you raise hand? After 2 years, after 3, 10 years, I'll give 10-year card, premium card. Nirapekshata premium card. After 1,000 of years, million of years, never fulfilled. It's a philosophy. It's a way of not satisfaction. It's not a fault. It's a true things. So never fulfilled. Then from today, what you do? You have to consume whatever. Now you are consuming something to get your happiness and pleasure. Now you are consuming something. You have to double or triple and try. Then you can understand very, very, very recently it is never happened. I'm not telling you to give up everything. What I told, you have to consume. Not half, double, triple, or 4 times. At any amount you consume, and try to fulfill this one and with the conscious mind. And see, then you can understand the theory is real. When the technology, when the technology create, how this technology create? Any technology create, how this, what's the method of creation of technology? First of all the scientists are giving some hypothesis. There's no one knows the hypothesis. Then they are doing some practical and see what, okay, this hypothesis good or bad. It's okay. The result is okay. Then they are doing lot of number of iteration. They are doing thousands of times and do the same results comes or not. If the same results comes, this is a technology. That's how technology create. Hypothesis, practical. Practical, you have to be repeat and repeat and repeat again. Then you understand this is a technology. What the technology mean? It is happening according to the hypothesis. That's what you have to do. Then you can see any amount of movie. You can be any of trips, any amount. You can listen any amount of songs. Smell and taste, eat and body touch and everything. You have use lot of things and see the theory is okay or not. From these two things, that means lust and hate, what's some good one? Even with the lust, there are some happy feeling. With the hate, is that happy or pleasurable? With the hate, when hating someone, when angry someone, is that good feeling or burning feeling? Burning feeling. Is that good or not bad? Bad. Now you know that burning feelings is a mental fabrication, not given by any external things. When your girlfriend is fighting with you, shouting to you, then you know that if you want any burning, what you have to do? You can have a choice. If you want burning, you can hatefully attach. If you want burning, yeah, it's good. If you want that one, you can choice. But earlier, you choose that one without knowing. Now you know that my burning is not created by my girlfriend. It's your mental fabrication. According to you are attached. You are hatefully attached and create within you, not given by that girl. When the husband is shouting to girl or wife, then she know that husband can't give you the unhappiness. She can shout, but not the unhappiness. If you want unhappiness, you can mentally create. It is not given by husband. From today, all the house should be very calm. After listening to this one. Why? Why is that? From one party, there are no fighting. If someone is shouting, one is listening. So, either one maybe understand. The person who more understand should be left. If someone shouting, what to do? What you have to do? When you go to the office, your boss is shouting. What you have to do? Earlier, what you do? You also get in the fight and burning. Now what do you have to do? You have to listen. He's telling something. When he's telling something, why you are angry? It's useless. He is shouting, you are burning. Then you have to listen and smile. Then he's more angry. More he or she more angry. You have to laugh and yeah. Then after a few days, what happened? She's never shouting. Why is that? No mean to shout. You try and do. I have done a lot of the cases. Is totally 100% effective. When someone is shouting, but he was very good. They shout. He can't shout even. Allow them to shout. Because that's their problem, not our problem. You don't take their problem to your problem. If you are wise enough, then what you do? Let them to get angry. It's their job. You don't get their baby to you. It's their baby. You don't take their baby. Can you understand? Very peaceful. Then how? This is how you get rid of the anger. For each and every case, you have to keep smiling, accept. There will be any things happen, but you have to accept. It's the way world is happening. Why you are worrying about? If someone is worrying about the world happening, then he's a wise person or model. Oh, wise can be model boy. Mad person, man, foolish, mad or something. The wiseless person. If the world something happens in the world, if someone is anger, you are happy. The person who are getting anger is foolish or wise. So foolish. When someone is foolish, why you are getting foolish? You understand? All are mental game, mental fabrication. Now you understood that this whole world is insatiable. Not the way you want, not the way you like, not the way you ask. It is happening the way it is happening. It is happening the way it is happening. So what do you do? Let them to happen. Let them to happen. It's all happening. If you want burning, you can hatefully attack and get burned. That's your job. No one is responsible for that. So for your burning, you are responsible, not others. If someone is happy, he is attacked with lustfully attack. So even though lustfully attack, that happiness is not given by object. First step, you have to get rid of all the very heavier burning is hateful things. then you have to first attempt to get rid of all the hate, anger, jealousy, fear, guilty, shame, jealousy. What are the negative feelings? Why this all the negative feelings comes? According to the way you are thinking, not the by object, not any external things. According to the way you are thinking, you are having this negative feeling. From today, what you have to do? First of all, you have to try to get rid of all the negative feeling. First of all, then you have to go to the last one. Second, first you have to get rid of all the hateful one. Then you can have a very peace of mind. Then you have to think about the last and happy part. Happy part also not given by external object. Then if you given up, if you escape from this lust and hate, you are absolutely free. Yeah, absolutely free or no? Free. Then also there's happiness. That happiness is called as a what? Absolute happiness. It not depend on anything. It's forever. It's called Nibbana. It's called Nibbana. The word Nibbana means Bana mean attach. Nibbana mean detach. Bana mean attach. Nibbana mean cessation. Cessation, detach, you can use any of word. Nibbana. Bana mean join. Nibbana mean detach from the external world, and you are, even though you are happy, but not depend on anything. That's called absolute happiness. Is that good or bad? Huh? That's the only way to have a happiness in the world. That's a supreme bliss. That in, I don't know what's the word. It's a nibbana. That's the only word that we have to tell. That's called nibbana. Absolute happiness.
Going back to the beginning of the discussion, we looked at a very good example. The example of if we give a lot of resources, let's say, if you give enough amount of money to enjoy all the resources in the world, to enjoy everything that you like in the world, after about a year, do you think your faculties will be fully satisfied, or do you think as a person you will be fully satisfied? The answer is no, you won't be fully satisfied. Because if you are to be fully satisfied, the richest people in the world, the people who can afford everything in this world should be fully satisfied, and they won't be going after these material things again and again. Because the world is neutral, because the world doesn't have anything to offer you to satisfy or fully satisfy your six faculties or yourself, that's why you keep going after these things, even after you have so many resources that you can actually afford to have in your whole lifetime. So, by understanding this concept, what happens is you look inside you, or you understand what this absolute happiness is. Absolute happiness is not something that's relative to the external world, or not something that you can get from the external world. It's something that you can find inside you, and by understanding that the world is insatiable, your six faculties can't be fully satisfied. The world is neutral, therefore, everything around you is insatiable. When you understand that concept, first of all, I think what you need to start off with is just exactly the same way the pleasure and the desire works. The hatred, the anger, frustration, jealousy, and let's say fear, shame, all of that works the same way. Because at the end of the day, if you go to the basis of these emotions, they are coming from the way you attach to the external world. External will give you not only materials but stimulations, situations. It will give you certain opportunities. There may be bad opportunities or instances where you might have to encounter things that you don't like. And the hatred, the frustration, anger, or the jealousy, or let's say your anger or any other negative emotion will come from the way you attach either to that external thing or external situation or the stimulation. Because it's a mental fabrication, start off with these negative aspects. Next time you encounter something that's negative, that's giving you a negative emotion, you can do two things. Because you know the concept of mental fabrication, you can either attach negatively to the force stimulation or the situation in front of you, or you can prevent yourself from mentally attaching in a negative way to those external things. I think the second option of not attaching negatively to the external thing will give you a lot of peace inside you, a lot of happiness inside you, because the external forces will stop, let's say, impacting you or affecting you in a negative way. So that is the I think the main way to tackle your anger and all those negative emotions. Once you remove negative emotions from your life this way, by not mentally attaching negatively to things, life will become a lot more easier. Then what you have to do is you have all your pleasure and the good days or the good times in your life, you just enjoy those things. The next step is enjoying these things. Is sometimes some people go after these external stimulations to get more happiness, because they are of the misunderstanding that the external things can give you the happiness. But because you understand the external things, stimulations, people, situations, or your opportunities don't give you the happiness, it's because of the way you mentally fabricate things or mentally fabricate happiness. You just enjoy the things you have, but you don't continuously have that fight over and over again, trying to get these things into your life with the misunderstanding, with the belief that these neutral external things will give you the happiness. Once you get that basic understanding, I think your life will be peaceful. You get given things, you encounter things, you have opportunities, you live with those things, but you don't chase these things beyond that, because chasing these things will only give you mental dissatisfaction. Your six faculties, at the end of the day, like Thero explained, they can't be fully satisfied. And now with that understanding, I think you will go a long way, and you'll be able to deal with your stress and other issues in your life, and you'll also be able to live a peaceful life.
Okay. Up to now, I explain just to avoid, ignore, cease, eliminate lust, hate, and delusion only. Lust, hate, and delusion is the material. Anything so? Lust, hate, delusion mean anything or what does mean delusion mean? If you don't know this principle, insatiability of this world, it is called delusion. What delusion mean? If you don't know the insatiability of this world, it is called illusion or delusion. The lust, hate, and delusion you have to get rid and get escape and eliminate. So lust, hate, and delusion mean something or some material. Is it belonging to some material things? What is the lust, hate, and delusion? Where it is? It's in your mind, way of thinking. When you go home from today, no one can understand you have understood this kind of things. It's not a material thing. Some of the after understanding of this one, your ear is not there, eye is not there, not a such a thing. When you go, the half of you is vanished. No, not such a thing. But when you go home, after understanding of this one, from today, if you understood properly, the way you are thinking about world is same or change. Huh? Change. Why? Earlier you were thinking very foolish manner. Now you have some wisdom. Wisdom. That's not a small one. That's not a small one. It's a life changing event. Your whole life will change. If you have that much of suffering, for day by day, it go down. And at a one stage, yeah, all the hateful thoughts finish one day. Then you have cool heart. You don't burn. Never burn. If someone is shouting, hitting, and whatever the things you are, okay. Suppose that when someone hit you, not kill you, hit you. When someone hitting, are they in pain? Yeah. How many minutes? How many minutes? There are a lot of domestic violence in this era, this time. Why? Inflation rate goes high. Domestic violence even in Australia. I listen in the Melbourne news. There are a lot of small guys with a knife. They are killing the people, and a lot of blah blahs are there nowadays. Why is that? In inflation rate goes high, but you're killing and why, or how is this interrelated? Why? How this both are interrelated? What's the purpose? What's the matter? Relative happiness. Due to relative happiness, since they are happy with relative to something, if all are absolutely happy, even it goes skyrocketing inflation rate, all are same. Only for survival. Not for any other happiness. All are not a matter. These are foolish thing. But we won't live. That's okay. Suppose then I explain to give up lust, hate, and delusion. First, you have to give up hate. Hate is not a matter. So I have to go home and go, don't throw it, your vehicle and blah blah material. You don't throw it away. I'm not talking like that. You don't give up the wife. You don't give up the girlfriend. Don't give up the husband. What I explain? You don't fight with each other. First of all, you love each other first. Then, with the time, if you understand, whatever that you are loving is also insatiable. Then, with the practice, you may understand, okay, this was insatiable. Then, definitely it is go away. Don't try and push and give up. One way is to give up is you can angry with them and give up. When there's a lot of fighting in the domestic violence, then husband and wife are fighting. Then also they are give up with the anger. That's not the way. We have to give up the anger, not the guy or wife. Can you understand what I mean? Then normally in house, what is happening? Due to the anger, they are given up the husband. I'm not giving up the husband. I'm telling about giving up the anger. Anger is not the husband. Can you follow me? So don't come with problem. My goodness, after listening to this Dhamma, there are a lot of problem. There should be minimum problem. All the problems should be go down. There should not be any anger issues. Anger issues is your foolishness, your delusion, foolish delusion, delusional thoughts. That's only. So when you are a lot of young guys, when you are driving, some people come in and maybe start the race. When you are angry and try to do some race. Can you win that one? Huh? Oh, never win. I also have done that one earlier. Never win. After passing one vehicle, okay, there is another vehicle. This road is a circle. So never pass. It's a foolish thing at the end of whatever. You may hit with some light post or somewhere. Don't do that one. Let them to fight. You calm. Don't fight. Nothing is to gain by hurry. You try to get hurry something. What's the purpose of? So if you can take $1,000,000 tomorrow, what's the purpose of that? But only what we can do, we can eat 3 meals. 3 meals per day. That's all. If you have a lot of money, then Elon Musk and Bill Gates having 1,000 of foods in a day. Huh? Only one shirt and trouser. and some underwear. Only one vehicle. So that when Elon Musk is going to the wedding, are they going with the 100 of vehicle one time? No. They can have only one bed. Either we can keep few of wives, different 24 hours is there. So they can use some different type of food, 2, 3 phones, maybe some laptop. Right? So no one can use this one. If you have 1,000 of this one, never use. But if you have 1,000 or million of wealth, you can keep. I have this much of wealth. You can keep in mind only. Then if someone wants, what you have to do? There are a lot of words in the world. You can think this is my one. Both are same. Can you understand what I mean? If someone wants, suppose if you have very, very big amount of wealth, you can't use this one. Then why we are collecting a lot of wealth? You are thinking this is my one. Then without ownership, if you can think this is my one. That's all. At the end of the day, when you go to die, you can't use that one. The whole world is my one. There are very big ocean. This is my ocean. You can think. They would think that there is a port. This is my port. Then no one is very similar thing. Suppose if the Bill Gates or Elon Musk is thinking of this all the countries there are factories and they may never see that one. Then likewise, you also can become a very billionaire. You have to think as a billionaire. Then you have become a billionaire according to where you are thinking. If someone won't, ultimately that's what all are doing. Only keep on contemplating. That's why you have that much and suffering. That's a headache. But if you don't have enough foods and some very to survival, there should be some limited thing that should be there. Unless we can't live. I'm not talking about this one. Out of this thing. That's what we are using for the happiness and pleasure and gratification. The word gratification used to pleasure and happiness by attaching to external object. This is due to the attachment, not due to the object. Happiness and gratification is called as in Buddhism as a pleasure and happiness due to attachment, lustful attachment. The hateful attachment, other way around. So from today onward, in your all families, there should not be fight. There should not be fight. I'm asked to give up the hateful thought, not the object. Can you understand? Unless you may mixed up what I told and go home and throw it all the thing away. You have to give up the thought, way of thinking. Did you got everything?
Just to summarize what Thera was explaining. So all this time, because we did not understand this concept, what we have been doing is we have been collecting things, objects, people, properties, and materials in order to satisfy our six faculties, thinking that we can get happiness this way. So if you actually think closely and very deeply at this concept of collecting things and collecting objects and materials, however much money or however much wealth or however many material you have in your life, you can actually use only one thing at a time. So even if you do have 4 or 5 cars, you can use only one car at a time, one phone at a time. You can be in one relationship at a time. You can use one bag at a time. There's a limit as to what we can consume and how much we can use in our day-to-day lives. So what we have been doing is, because we didn't understand that the objects don't have any happiness, now that you understand it, and now when you look at it closely, you know that all you have been doing is spending time in collecting external things, materials, objects, with the expectation that these things will give you happiness. And you have been wasting your time on something that's completely unnecessary, whereas you could have actually found the absolute happiness within you, because the absolute happiness is not something relative, not something that you can get from the external world, stimulation, situations, or anything that's out there. It's a purely a mental fabrication. It's something that you create mentally. It's the way you perceive things. So as long as you understand this, just like Thero explained to you, you can understand the ultimate bliss of Nibbana, because that's what it is. That is devoid of any external things. It's just something that's within you. So you can let go of this fight that you have with you. As soon as you understand this, you can remove hatred from your life, because there will be fights in the world. There will be things that you don't like in the world. There will be situations that you face that you don't like, you don't want to face with. So you can let those situations be. You can let those people be. You can let those stimulations be. Just don't mentally attach to those things and cause distress to yourself. It's easier to remove anger and all those negative feelings initially, because you can feel the negative feelings inside you the minute you mentally negatively attach to something that's external, because you can feel the burning sensation in your heart, and that's a feeling that none of us would want to experience or go through in our life. So it's easier to identify that feeling. That's a feeling that we don't like. That's a situation that we don't want to put ourselves through. So every time you have a negative experience, think to yourself, I'm mentally fabricating or mentally attaching to this situation in a certain way that creates this negative emotion. Therefore, I should teach myself not to mentally attach to this situation in this way. So, say for example, you have a fight with your partner, the girlfriend, or your wife, or your mother. Next time this happens, when you think about it, what do you hear? You just hear words coming your way, the words that you don't like given the situation. And in that situation, you can do a few things. You can either fight back by mentally attaching it or mentally reacting to it in a negative way, or you can stop yourself from mentally reacting to the words coming towards you, understanding that I can take this to the next next, let's say, next level or the next extent by attaching it to the situation in a negative way. So train yourself not to do that, and that way anger will go away from your life. So in future, when something happens, you will see that you can face the situation as it is without this sugarcoating of being anger or having frustration and distress towards the situation. And when you understand that, I think collecting things in your life, try to earn more money, and also trying to do, I think, unnecessary things in order to achieve these things or obtain materials, thinking that they will give you happiness, will also stop, because you'll understand this concept. The world is insatiable. You are mentally fabricating, whether it be pleasure, desire, lust, or negatively anger, hatred, delusion, or let's say distress. All these are mental fabrications. Therefore, you can yourself stop this the chain reaction inside you. So the gratification doesn't come from the world, because the world is insatiable. World doesn't have anything. World is devoid of any emotions. Therefore, you can prevent all these situations coming into the picture in the future. So focus on the ultimate bliss of Nibbana, the ultimate happiness that you can find within yourself, not the relative happiness, which is relative to the external world.
When you are doing this, absolute one. Now you are in relative to something, but you have to go to the absolute one. To go to from relative to absolute, you have to use this word. Are there any limitation in Buddhism? Well, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. No, we have listening in Sri Lanka. Are there any limitation? No limitation. If someone is limit, what happened? They don't have that experience. You can see any amount of visual movie or something, whatever the things. You can go anywhere. See. But you have to keep on thinking the place we are going have any happiness or pleasure. We have to keep on this in mind. If that is there, you go and contemplating, then uh, research about the gratification. Lord Buddha also have done the research on gratification. Asada paration, gratification. Research on gratification. The gratification, happiness and pleasure. By using eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, all the it is 6 faculties. Lord Buddha has done some research. So you also have to do the same thing, not any other way. Are there any limitation? How many songs you have to listen? That depend on the people, wisdom. Some people at the one just asking the theory, they understand. Some other, they can't. Then what happen? What to do? In your career, either accountant, engineer, doctor, or some professional career. If you have passed out from university, what you are doing? When you go to the work, what they asking? What they asking? Experience. What do you mean that experience? They have applied this theory and get the knowledge. That without experience, no one can understand. If you have 50 year experience, it's more suitable. If you are 10 years, it will be less. But with the wisdom, you have to apply and get the experience. Then only you are getting mature and go to the absolute happiness. If you are brand new, you are not using anything. Why? They are making some cultural and lot of blah 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 there. You are brand new. When you have a lot of experience? No. If you have only one, you have only one car, only one wife, only you have only one movie, only you have only one songs. Do you have any experience? You are like a fog in the whale. You are like a fog in the whale. Why? He know only surrounding. But you have to explore the world. To explore what you have to do, you have to use this world. Don't hesitate, don't fear. If you are fear, what happens? Due to the fear, you are not using this world. You have a lot of fear. Fear is a biggest pleasure, where biggest danger, biggest hate in your life. Fear. Without fear, you have to keep on practicing each and everything. You can use any amount of vehicle, any amount of car, any amount of foods, and see the theory. You have to apply the theory and practice. To get this practice, you have to use this word. Without using, then you are brand new. You never go to the absolutism. You are always relative to something. You have limited experience. According to the limited experience, you are somewhere stuck that limitation only. You never explore the world. To explore the world, first thing you have to need this fearlessness. Anyway, I want to be absolute. I want happiness, absolute happiness. So we have to do. There are no any number of times to use this all the items. If you want to go to club, you go. If you want to drink, you drink. Drink and see what it is, and get the experience. Without experience, you can't give up. If you have a lot of experience, then you know already this is useless. When you come to this Dhamma discussion, if you have a lot of experience means which experience? Not a professional experience. What I'm asking about gratification experience. To get the gratification experience, what you have to do? You have to drink more. You have to club in more. You have to go to prostitution. You have to go to the massage clinic. You have to go to the film, movies, songs, dancing. What we have to do. And then only that happiness is come. Then if you have enough experience, when I just tell that theory, you understood one time, oh, this is a problem. That is how in Buddhism, first one is Lord Buddha, Siddhartha. Siddhartha understood everything. Why? In a couple of means how he understood. He have used everything unlimitedly. Unlimitedly he has used. Why? He's a king. He's a son of a king. He has all these stuffs. All these stuffs. There's dancing, music, girls, and eating, everything they have. They have consumed, and then he understood there's a looseness. Then next one, Sariputta Moggallana. They both are used unlimitedly. They are very richest person. All the richest person are searching what they are searching. Nowadays also same. All the richest person go to some normal nowadays. There are in all the world. There are small islands all over the world. If you have gone there, I don't know. This island, small island, all these five sensual pleasures are giving, but at the very high cost. Anything what you want, it is there. If you go and search Google, very luxurious island in the world. That's all. You have to Google and search. Then you can understand. Either you have to study the psychology. If you study psychology, everything is learned from there. So you can use any amount. So you have to get the norms. Norms mean you have to go to the Google and search for a man. How many cars used by a man for a lifetime? There's some average value. So you have to use more than average. You have to use the more than average. Why? You're doing some another job. Why? You want more experience. How many ladies used by men for Australia, in Australia? Then you Google and search. Then it comes at 18 or 19. It's called USA. USA. If you enter the Sri Lanka, zero. It's the most good country in the world. Zero. How is come? There are no data. There are no data. Very easy the Perth program. I showed everyone with the Google. You search just now. You can search and see how many. Then you can see that how these people are enjoying in the world. Because unless what you are doing, you are in that cage. You have create cage yourself, and within that cage you have a comfort. If you break this cage, what happens? You are suffering. That means not absolute happiness. There is a relative happiness according to your cage. That cage may be the religious, social, parents, they are fear. Then what they are doing? They are trying to safeguard your son and daughter. Why? They are keeping some rules. That's their cage. The peoples are keeping cage. Then you are in that cage. Then what happens? That's a relative happiness. So if you want absolute happiness, you break this every and each cages. Then you're absolute. Then you see what's your cages. Then how these cages, how do you find this your cages? When some problems comes to you, the way you are behave. If you are getting anger, then you can know this is my cage. Then likewise, you see what's your cage. Without breaking this cage, you can't liberate. Normally in psychology, I have learned one elephant is there. There's some very big tree. They are getting the 10 feet, 3 meter length chain. An elephant is tied with this tree and keep for 2-3 days. Then what elephant doing? He's walking 10 feet diameter circle. And he got the consciousness that he can't go beyond that. After a few days, what the people are doing? Cyclists have done. They have untightened this, all the chain and removed. Then even though they have removed, he's not going beyond the 10 feet. So one research. Other one is for a bird they have done. For a bird, they are keeping in a bird, and on top of this one, we are putting a small cage, net, so like a net. Then birds are flying and hit that net and fall down. Then they put that's called vinyana, like a mindset is called NLP. If someone have learned the NLP, do you know? Neuro-linguistic programming. If you have understand, this is the same. NLP, neuro-linguistic program. If someone have learned, that was same. That they are keeping some condition. Okay, we can't go beyond that one. That's our limit. Even after removing this, all the nets, they are not going out. But at one day, due to some reason, if some one bird go out, then all are going out. That's a concept. That's universal concept. That's a universal concept. First person is very important. The person who are going first out of this box. When one person going out of the box, then people are, oh my goodness, now can go. In Sri Lanka, lot of people now going removing these cages. Now removing cages. Earlier, there are a lot of cages. In Buddhism also, I have break lot of cages. I first I ran it out and show it to others. Okay, we can run. Then all are running behind me in Sri Lanka. So we have to break and show them that can break. This is how we are breaking. So unless all are very comfort zone, you have cage, very comfort, you are never absolute.
All right, I'll summarize it very briefly. So, first of all, you understood this concept now. You understand gratification, the world is neutral, it's all a mental fabrication. That's just understood as a concept. So, when you understand something, there's two components. One is understanding that as a concept, and then the second is understanding it through experience. When you understand something as a concept, applying it to experience is what's going to give you a better understanding or the understanding of that concept 100%. So just because you understood this concept of insatiability of the world, what Thero is telling you and teaching you is don't put yourself in a cage that's consistent of social values, restrictions, culture, parents' rules, or unnecessary other boundaries that will limit your experiences. The more you, I think, be smart about it, don't let yourself go in a direction where you think you are leading towards disaster. What that means is expand your experience. By expanding the experience to the external world, the more experiences you have, you will understand, yes, this concept of insatiability is an actual truth. So the more you experience things, more you experience, let's say, cars or emotions or any other situation, you will understand, yes, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 experiences. What does that give me? It doesn't give me anything. It doesn't fool me or fully satisfy me. So everything is insatiable. Whereas if you put yourself in a cage and because you have fear of these restrictions, social or whatever the cultural boundaries, what will happen is you will have one experience and you'll think to yourself, yes, this is it. All right, everything is insatiable and you're probably putting a blockage inside you because of that fear. But whereas if you think beyond these boundaries and expand your experiences and you have multiple amount of experiences, you can understand that insatiability of the world through your experiences, and that way your understanding of the reality of the world is going to be far more better than someone who's understanding the concept and have understood the concept as a concept only. So that's what we're trying to explain. That's why a lot of the people who I think are fearful of certain restrictions will take time to understand this concept, understanding in the sense to apply the concept within them. Whereas if you are someone who's ready to experience the world, I think the insatiability of the world can be understood by you quite easily, quite quickly, and you'll find that absolute happiness inside you because you've expanded yourself to experiences, and through those experiences, without the fear of boundaries and social limitations and things, you have touched that insatiability. You understood what the insatiability means and what the blissful nature of Nibbana can get you. Once you have experiences, you understand there's nothing to get from the world, and that gets you towards the ultimate bliss of Nibbana because you've tested this side of things. You know that there's nothing there, which makes it easier for you to get onto the reality. Does that make sense?
Okay. Two guys come to some music master to learn music. Two guys come to learn music. Then music master asks from the one person, like suppose that shall we make name as A. So music master asked from A, do you have learned any music? Then he told, yes, half of that one I have learned. Okay, good. He asked from second one. He asked, no, nothing. It's a brand new one. Said B. Then they both of them asked, how much for the learning of music? Then master told, for the A, $1,000. For B, $500. Did you got my idea? A know half of that they already learned, but B doesn't learn anything. But his less amount, but learned person have double the amount. Why is that? To learn 500, unlearning another 500. So if you have already learned any Buddhism, then you have waiting. All the new guys, you can go home. Can you understand what I mean? All the new guys, that's all what I have to tell. You can go home. If someone have studied Buddhism up to now, then they have to wait for another 2 hours to unlearn. Can you understand what I mean? Okay, that's all my talk. Okay.
Just to summarize the last bit, I think it's very important. Buddhism as it is in Sri Lanka is, I think, a set of, as Thero explained, it's a set of rituals, limitations, restrictions that restrict your personality or you yourself as a person. There's no liberation in that. That's what Thero was explaining. The real Buddhism, whereas, is completely the opposite. It doesn't put limitations into yourself. It doesn't put limitations into your experience, because experiences are what's going to get you to that ultimate understanding of blissfulness of Nibbana. So what Thero is saying is, if you get someone who's learned, studies, and followed these rituals in Buddhism for years and years, it's going to take a lot longer to get that person from that cage that they have put themselves in, because the Buddhism that you find in Sri Lanka doesn't lead you towards the ultimate bliss, because it doesn't expand you as a person, because if anything, if it limits your experiences, therefore you don't get to the understanding of insatiability of the world. Whereas the real Buddhism, as it is, if someone, like, let's say, someone who doesn't know Buddhism at all comes and sits here, that person will be able to understand this concept quicker than someone who has been taught Sri Lankan Buddhism, because that person comes with an empty mindset, a mindset that has expanded towards experiences. A person who comes here with experiences, who's experienced the world without limitations, because they have touched that side of things, they will be able to easily understand what this insatiability or what this Buddhism actually teaches you. So have a free mindset, Make yourself devoid of any restrictions, limitations, and I think that will get you far. This is the real Buddhism at the end of the day. Rituals, of course, do exist, but rituals should never restrict you, never bind you to anything. It should be a liberation. Anything that you find liberation in, I think put yourself there. Anything that puts you in a cage, that takes the liberation away from you, that's not the reality, or that's not the real, that's not a religion. Okay, that's all.
From today onward, your teacher is whatever the Dhamma you study, not me. They don't take me as a teacher. Who's teacher? Insatiability of all the word. That's your understanding. If you understood properly, that's your teacher, not me, not Buddha. Buddha is not there. I also may not there. Your baby, you have to take your baby and go home. That's all.
First question. What is meditation and how do we start to meditate? How do we practice meditation day-to-day life?
Day-to-day life, what you have to keep on concentration of about your mind, not about any other things. If you feel any hard feeling, hurting, hateful things, burning, negative thought, you check your mind is burning day to day one. Then what you have to do? That burning is good? No. Then you have to think how you have to think. With any circumstance, with any object. It may be shouting of mom, shouting of boy, shouting of girl, cheating of someone. It may be anything. If any incident, any happenings to you, any happening, if you are burning, first of all, in a meditation, what you have to do? First of all, you have to get rid of this burning. Then how do you think? What the method of thinking? How this burning happen? Some incident happen. It doesn't have any emotion. On top of that one, mentally fabricated. It's a mental fabricated one, not given by external things. That's what you have to think. Then you can think about your foolishness. Your foolishness. I'm like a donkey. Why we are burning myself? I'm burning myself. Why that? Are you angry with you? Huh? When you're burning, you're angry with you. Not with external thing. External either mom or dad or someone. If she is shouting, but you are burning yourself. That you are angry with you. What I'm doing? Then close your eye and keep on thinking, what happened to me? Oh my God, burning. Inside, how it is happening? If you can't, you take breathing and get somewhat cool and think and get to that hateful thought. The next day, you have now experience. This experience. First of all, you have to let them to come in. Let them to come unless you don't know. Suppose that after this session, you go and hide in somewhere without any external action, external exposure. You are not going to work, you are not going to deal with anyone, and you go to the Aranya and very nice place and you are close your eye and then you don't know whether there is a animal in you. You don't know the animal in you. To get this all the animal, what you do? You have to face to the world. 6, 7, maybe 1 year. If you have a lot of animal in you, maybe more than that. I don't know how much to. You try to face to this day-to-day life. Then only your burning comes. Then you can understand, oh, that much of burning I have. Then little by little, you have to practice. This is a practice. From now onward, it's an experience, nothing else. Experience. Then after few years, it may be 9 months, 6 months, depend on the person's wisdom and understanding and how much you have attached to that world and that lot of dependency. So at a one day, you don't feel any hurting. Your mind is very relaxed, cool. Now life is very cool. Then you have at the last full stage. But even though you don't have feel any hard feeling, you are very enjoying. You are loving to each other. You are helping to each other. Very lustful is your life. Your life is very lustful. That means lovely. At that stage, you come. Then I will give you some another method to go to the dhyana. Dhyana. First, second, third, fourth dhyana. Then when you go to the dhyana, your mind will liberate more than normal life. It's a very blissful state. And for that one, there should be another discussion. With 1-2 minutes, it is very difficult to explain. It will get around 2-3 hours if you are brand new. But you have learned, it may get double the time. If you have done the lot of that meditation up to now, you get double the time. If you have not done any meditation, only 2-3 hours is enough. Unless it may be around more than 6 hours, maybe. Unlearn, lot of difficult. So this is difficult work in the world. I have tired even. Unlearning is a very tired thing. Yeah, it's very difficult. If you are brand new, it's very easy. Suppose that this already filled. Can you pour any water? Huh? To fill it, what we have to do? We have to remove this water. And then only we can. Yeah. With the good water. Because the thing is, if the good water is there, you are not coming to here. You have dirty water. That's why you are coming here. If you have in a very happy position, absolutely happy, you never come to this discussion. If you are relatively happy or unhappy, maybe both. That's why you are coming to here. Meditation, there's two portion. One I have explained already. After you are feel, oh my goodness, now is the time to meet the Bhante. Then again you ask from him and get a gathering. It may be 2 hours to explain.
ඊළඟ ප්‍රශ්න එකට ඒකට විදිහට දැනෙන්නේ සහ මට මොනවද ලැබෙන්නේ කියලා හිතන්නේ. මගේ යාළුවන්ට ඒගොල්ලෝ රිසර්ව් වෙන හැම දෙයක්ම ලැබෙනවා කියලා මට තේරෙනවා. මට මම වාසනාවන්තයි කියලා හිතෙනවා. ඒ මගේ මයින්ඩ්සෙට් එකේ හේතුවක්ද ඒ මට ඒ දැනෙන විදිය වෙනස් කරලා මට සතුටු වෙන විදිය මම කොහොමද මම වෙනස් කරගන්න ඕනේ? Can you ask that in English? English, sir?
Yeah. Okay, good.
Why I always feel sad and not getting what I wanted. My friends seem to be getting everything they deserve, but I'm being unlucky. Is it my mindset? How do I change it to be a happy person?
The small problems that how we got everything due to the past life merits. I don't know whether you are believing or not. Who is believing the past life? Okay, can you hands up person who are not believing the past life? Then because there are two ways. If you are believing, on top of this belief, I can explain. If you are not believe, that's another answer. That's why I'm asking. Anyone not believing in the past life? Can hands up? There are two ways. If someone is believing, if last life, the answer is this one. You have in last life, you have done last couple of life, you have done lot of merits. When you giving something, offering something, you feel very happy. You feel happy. That all the happy feelings convert into small, finer particle. It is called aura. Have you heard aura? A-U-R-A, aura. Aura is energy around us. But this energy is, after emitting of this aura, it is all over this world. This aura means very fine particle. It is tiny than photon. Photon means light particle. It's finer than light particle. What I mean, that all this aura have the data. When you offering something, we are creating the white aura. If you are hate, lust, delusion, for a hate, red aura, for a lust, yellow aura, for a delusion, blue aura. If you got these three colors together, black aura, then whole world is black and white. When you, if you want to research this one, you go to the aura machine. Aura machine, keep your left hand and get anger. Then your machine shows the aura around you getting red. Then you take your hand out and wait 2-3 minutes, and again you keep your hand. Get the lustful, a lovely idea. Then your aura can see as a yellow. Unless you can Google and see what's aura. Then you can understand from this thought, they are creating the aura. Then black aura, white aura. Then white aura, when you are giving something, offering something, you are feeling white aura. That's given in the AuraCam 6000 color interpretation. I have explained that in my season 8. Season 8, karmic energy. Karma is an energy, karmic energy. E equal HF Einstein-Planck equation. Einstein-Planck equation is the equation that make the karmic energy. Karmic energies can measure with the kilojoule as energy. That for proving this one, you want aura, double slit experiment, photo illustrative principle, photo illustrative principle, E summon HF equation, color and frequency chart in physics. We have to all together and explain, and then we can prove the Lord Buddha saying. Mental fabrication create the karmic energy. It is in Buddhism. This much of short phrase we can use with all the quantum physics. To prove this small phrase, we have to use all the quantum physics. Can you understand that all the quantum physics are dense together? It's called one word in Buddhism. Chetanaham bhikkhave kammam adami. We have to use all these equations. Then only we can understand. Then all the energies we are creating, and it is in world. Then it is with us. Suppose earlier birth we have given something. Then as a result of that one, he should gain something. If you do something, there should be an opposite reaction. In Newton laws also, Newton's second law, what is it? If you're doing something, there are opposite reaction. Then we are offering something, we should gain something. If you stolen something, you have to other way around. You have to give something. Can you understand this small thing? So if you are last birth, if you are offering lot of foods and blah blah to others, then this birth you can gain lot of things. That's if someone believe. If someone not believe this past life, what you do? Then you have to do the meditation. First dhyana, second dhyana, fourth dhyana, third dhyana, fourth dhyana. And after go to the fourth dhyana, you can see your past life. This is practical. First, second, third, fourth, and go, and after fourth dhyana, you think you want to see your past life. Then, like a film or movie, you can see your past life in your mind. You can see from your mind. And mind can read all this. It's called Akashic reading. Do you have Akashic reading. If someone is searching of spirituality, your spiritual journey, Akashic reading. That's all Akashic reading. We can read from the mind and see past life. Then you can understand that past life is there. Then you can understand if they given the past life, you should pay. That's how we are achieving this all the thing.
One more question. Say in English. We being asked to be passionate about sports, music, education, etc. And Buddhism talks about letting go. So what should we choose?
After understanding of this theory, then you have, I think, answer. You have to let him go, not the sports. You have to let him go. Lust, hate, and delusion. Lust, hate, and delusion is not sport. It's not a matter. It's not the action. The way of thinking. Even after become a fully enlightened person, fully enlightened, then also he should be some exercise. Unless his body is not working. So that in Buddhism there are 4 stages. First is stream enterer, second is stream enterer, third is stream enterer, fourth is stream enterer, perfect one. That means Arhat. They fully understand. Now from today's discussion, you can get first stream enterer if you wise enough. Then if you are perfect one, that means fully understand, then also he should have exercise. Even Arahat, they are even walking for foods. Then that exercise is enough. Unless you have become sick. Sports and those are not a lustful, hateful, delusion. That's for your health. If for the health, it's okay. Unless if you are using this one to fight with someone, that hateful thought we have to exit. Give up. That's all. I am myself also doing the yoga, walking. Sometimes I'm running to raise my heartbeat. There are no other way. When we are in monastery, in monastery, I asked to our chief monk, we practice even kung fu. Yeah. With one monk there, without no any ropes and anything, with the sword in monastery. This rope. So suppose that if we with this rope, if we sit in a head, whatever. When we are doing the yoga, we have to sit from head. With this rope, if you sit in the head, what happened? What happened?
Disappears.
It's the wrong way. We have to wear either trouser or running whatever things. Yeah. There are no limitations in Buddhism. But people are thinking another way. They have their own delusion. That's their own delusion. Since they are don't know proper Dhamma. That's okay. That's the. That's why for our discussion there are no dress code. No dress code. Why is that? If you wear anything, I accept. It may be not other devotees. Because they have learned people. They have their cages. Why is that? With Lord Buddha, some Niganta came and discussed. Niganta came and discussed with Lord Buddha. At that time, he didn't oppose. Then how this Niganta comes and sit and discuss? If you read the Tripitaka, you can say one Niganta in front of Lord Buddha getting to sit and discuss. Then how what he has wearing? Nothing. If today, if someone asks and discuss with me with the Niganta, I accept. That may be a problem for devotees. That cage people, that cage eggs also, they are cage eggs. Sri Lankan cage devotees. Cage devotees, they have problem. For me, I don't have any problem. She is a person. So can you understand what I mean? So don't judge people. That's a wrong judgment. If someone is doing some wrong things, you don't judge. Why is that? If Lord Buddha, one guy came after killing thousands of people. Thousands of people, killing thousands of people. But at the end of the day, whatever, he's become a perfect one. What's the name of that? Huh? Angulimala. Another guy came, more than 500 kills. He has killed more than 500, 600. What's the name of that? Thambadasa. Sariputta Thero explain everything and he's in, he go to the top in Devaloka. He has death, how much? More than 500 people. One day at one time, 199 people killed at one time, one day. There are stories. Ambapali, what did he? He said he has sealed. Ambapali, she had a seal, big seal. What's his job? What's his job? Ambapali, prostitute. Come and get the soa, first estimator. But she don't have any seal before come to the Dhamma. In Buddhism, there are no any seal. There are seal, but after understanding, that's due to the wisdom. That with wisdom, not rituals. If someone is trying to liberate with the rituals, this is out of Buddhism. It's called Silabhata Paramasa, out of Buddhism. In Buddhism, what we are doing, asasati pasasati. Asasati means use, pasasati means give up. Use and give up. Use, get experience, and if it is not good, give up. Asasati pasasati. It's called anapanasati. It's two different things. We have to explain a lot of things. This word, translation of this old word has been wrong. Nowadays, you have listened. If you want to, if you ask any Dhamma discussion, you may hear everything is impermanent. Have you heard? Impermanent. Everything is impermanent. Have you heard? Is that okay? Everything is impermanent. Is that okay? Are there any permanent things are there or not? 1 plus 1, how much? Can you change that one? Is that permanent or impermanent? Huh? Permanent or impermanent? Impermanent. If you plus another 1 to 2, then how much? 3. Can you change? Is it permanent or impermanent? For a triangle, how many sides? Huh? 3. Can you change that one? Is it permanent or impermanent? From which side that sun is rising? From west? Huh? From where? Which side? Huh? East. Can you change that one? Is that permanent or impermanent? Huh? Permanent. All the beings in the world definitely die or not. Is that death is permanent or impermanent? Huh? There are a lot of things permanent. Now, all the Buddhists are saying everything is impermanent. Then how can it? Is okay? Or something wrong? Huh? Something wrong or good? Everything is impermanent. Is that okay? Is correct one or wrong one? Hmm? Correct or wrong? You have to tell some teacher. Okay, can you hands up? Everything is impermanent. It's a true concept. Can you hands up who's telling? True concept. True one. Good one. Okay. It's a wrong one. Can you hands up? You have to hands up on one side. You have to think with the brand new mind or brain. You can't go to the absolute. So you have to use the brain. If you are brand new, never absolute. You have to think. If it's a wrong, never mind. It's a wrong answer. Then you are learning. Okay. This is a wrong concept. It is not given by Lord Buddha. It's a wrong concept. Are there any other problems or question or whatever things you didn't understand or anything?
Any other questions?
Did you get my dear? You, 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 you. Oh yeah. Did you get what I mean?
Yeah.
You?
Me?
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah. Because others are Sri Lankan, I think. Because you are only from here. Yeah. You got anything, any green light about happiness and how to get rid of these things and things?
The key takeaway for me is probably what you said about putting it into practice.
Yeah, you have to practice. Yes, that's what you have to do.
Using things in this world as a way to experience.
Really, yes.
So that was
Yeah. This is a hypothesis. So you have to keep on practice. Then when you are keep on practice, you get the same results. That means absolutism. Then it is technology. Then you are then that understanding govern you. That understanding govern you, not by any others. That understanding called as Dhamma. Dhamma. හොඳයි.